Welcome to the administration tutorial for Beard and Stash, a Joomla 3 template from JoomlaXTC. So let's jump right in. So we're in our control panel here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the site. And what we're going to start with here is the menu system. So we're going to go over to menus, to the main menu. So we're going to head over here to our menu. So the first home here is a menu item alias. We're going to come back to that. So the first thing that we did is we set up our home link here. And under the link type, there's the details, we set featured articles, and link type. We went ahead and said we want to use an image. So we select the image right here. We don't want to have a title on it. And we put a CSS style on that of pad left and right, pad LR. So it has some more padding than your normal menu here to push the menu left and right out there. So that's how the home link is set up. But now let's go back to that first home link, which was a title. This is called the menu item alias. So we're going to look at it here, and under the details, menu type, menu item alias. You get this by selecting here and going to the system links and using a menu item alias. Now what that's going to do is it's going to create an alias for the home there, so it's not two different links. And this works quite well for anything where you're going to have several different links. Like let's say that you have a main menu and you've got a link to your contact page, but you also want to have a link to your contact page in your footer. Traditionally, you'd probably just make two menus and you just say, okay, I want to have another menu and I'm going to put the another contact link there. That's going to really hurt you on your SEO. So the correct way to do this is only have one link but use the menu item alias. And what this allows us to do in this scenario is have two home links. So we can actually have a title for home. So where this isn't the home and we start off with about, because most people traditionally are used to a home, unless there is a menu, say, over logo on the left. In addition, this whole logo system, you can look in the actual documentation. We've told you if you want to have the logo over here to the left, all we've done here is we've hidden it until you get to the mobile level, and then it shows up over here. So it's just simply removing a display none in the CSS if you just want to use the traditional logo position that's in the template manager. So let's get out of the menus now and head over here to our extensions. And let's start off with the modules. So we're going to start from the top, and we're going to use our select position here to pick them. We've got our Inset. So our Inset is just our JoomlaXTC custom HTML module. Our custom HTML module has some different settings than the regular Joomla HTML module. You can embed CSS in the head, you can use it for JavaScript, you can do lots of different things, but right now we're just using the HTML mode. One feature that we put in here, since it is HTML, we don't really have the WYSIWYG editor in here. And so what you can see going on here is we've got our div here for the hero. We have our div class row fluid because we're using bootstrap classes. So we're opening a bootstrap class, row fluid, and right here we are using our scroll to reveal JS. This is a free JavaScript that's out there that allows you to do scroll to animations. Really simple. If you need a tutorial on it, you can just Google scroll to reveal JS, and there's lots of information there. But as you see, it's pretty basic. It's right here we're just telling it to reset, and what that does is that means that it's going to reset after the action has taken place. So when you scroll beyond it, when you come back, it's going to do the effect again. If you take the reset out, it's only going to do it once. So then we tell it to wait 5 seconds, and we're waiting because this is on the home page in the inset position, and we kind of want to wait for the whole template to load up. So we're going to wait 0.5 seconds, and we're going to enter to the right. We're going to hustle. You can use ease in, ease out, hustle. We're going to do it 300 pixels over 8 seconds. And then we have our class of span1 mobile hide, and then we have our p style here, and this is the bracket. And so right here we're doing the whole bracket that is over here on the left. And we have a mobile hide because Once it goes down to mobile level, we don't want it on the top and the bottom of the text. We just want to hide them. So then we have another call here to the scroll to reveal with a different setting, and then we have a span of 5. Then we have another span of 5 here for this part. So this part right here is the beard and stash part. And then the second part, the Gainesville's oldest barbershop, is there. So as you see, we've got a span 1, then we have a span 5, and a span 5. So we're up to 11, and there's 12 spans available in the Bootstrap grid. So obviously this next one is going to be 1 down here, and we have 1. And so this is in position inset. There's no module class suffix, and it's just some basic HTML. So now we're going to move down here to user 13. User 13 is another custom HTML module, a text block. Same scenario that we have going on here. And we have our scroll to reveal setting. Then we have our wrap. Then we have another scroll to reveal setting. And we have our H2, always hit, never square. Then we have our icon here with some more scroll to reveal. Then we have more scroll to reveal, and we have our text. So that's doing this. See how they all come in at 3 different times? That's why we have the scroll to reveal in 3 different positions there. And that gives us our title, our icon, and our text. And now let's move on. User 19 is our JoomlaXTC Deluxe News Pro, and this is the services. So for this one, we picked our category ID services. We said we want to have 3 columns, 1 rows, and 1 page. Down here, we have our template, beard and stash services, user 19. So we have many other templates in here that you can use, but we created this special template just for this. Now, if you actually want to edit any of the look of this template, you can do it in the back end. You can go via FTP or whatever editor program you're using and go into the JoomlaXTC News Pro folder under modules, and then go under templates and find the folder for this one for beard and stash user 13 or user 19, excuse me, and then edit it right there. Or if you just want to do it right in the module, you can click this edit button, and as you see, the markup comes right in. And for this one, we just have our services H2 here. Then we have our main area. This main area is what calls in the main content HTML template here. And then we're just calling in the intro from the article. And then over here under the Advanced tab, this is where all the CSS is loaded in. So as you see with the News Pro module, you don't have to really know a lot of code or go into the back end to go ahead and edit it. And down here in the alternative layout, you've got Bootstrap, default, which is tabled, float, or somatic. For this, we're using Bootstrap because the template is responsive. So now next in the user 25, same scenario. This is our staff. The only thing that's changed here is we've got a category ID of staff. Excuse me. And here's everything loaded in here. And we're going to move down to user 31. Here's our map. And we've got a row fluid again because we're using Bootstrap, 6. And then down here we've got 6. So we've got 2 columns. Here we're just calling it an iframe for the Google map. We've got our H2, and then we've got our markup right in here. And here's where all the social networking icons are. These are I classes. If you want to put a link in there, you would do it in between this I class with the style. Then you put your link right in there. So now let's move over to the footer. So we have the copyright and our elevator module. We'll start with the elevator. The elevator, here's where your main audio is, your Razor MP3. That's the Razor sound as it scrolls. That's the ding. This is the duration of the scroll. And then we just have our simple markup where we'll just make a little arrow with using font awesome with an I class. And here with the P style or back to top. And this is where you'd want to change it if you want to change the language for that. Under the advanced setting, we have a no pad and no margin on it. And then here for our copyright, very simple markup, just in our custom HTML module, no module suffix class needed. Now let's go ahead and look at the style 3, and let's go here to our style modules. So we have 6 different style modules in here because we have the ability to do 6 different styles, but right now we're only using 4 styles. So what these style modules do is they're only available on the style that you're on. So if you wanted to go ahead and say you want the background video to be in style 1, you would just change this module position to style 1. But right now we're showing you the style 3. So this is where you link your YouTube video. And we have a CSS selector because we only want to show it on region 1. This is a background video player, so it's going to show it for the background of your website. Or you can just go ahead and attach it to a CSS selector. So for here, we've attached it to region 1. Then you have all your other settings here with your optimized display, loop, your volume, if you have music, overlays, and many other things. But really all you need to do for this is just drop your YouTube video right in there and you're set. And that's for style 3 and for style 4. So now let's take a quick look at the appointment book. So the appointment book starts off with calendars. First you need to have calendars. So for here we've got 3 different calendars. So you have a calendar name, your availability, what days of the week they're available, who it's attached to, an email, daily schedule, appointment duration, how long the durations are going to be, availability, redirect, enable CAPTCHA, and CAPTCHA visibility, published. Then you've got your appointment fields. And you see we've created a field here for service and we've got a multiple selection. You can have up to 10 fields in here. And you can have a single text line, a multiple text line, radio, drop-down list, multiple selection. Calendar profile. Well, here's where we put in our image, the booking form call, and the title. So as you see on this page for the appointment book, you can have your own markup in here with book an appointment. So it could be a picture, it could be a map, it could be anything you want. So then once you have your calendars, you can manage your appointments. And see, here's the appointment manage. So this is a very simple and easy to use appointment scheduler. Now let's go ahead and move on to the template. So here is the core template, beard and stash. And now this is the details view. In the details view, you have your default view or your mobile view. You're really always going to want to have default view. Mobile view loads the mobile template. The mobile template has its own specific module positions. So let's say that your client or yourself, you wanted to have a totally different look when it goes mobile. Other than being responsive and look perfect on a phone, you just want to have a couple of different modules showing and you want it to be styled different. Then you would select default layout, but you could turn the mobile detection on. This we'll call the mobile template. You really want to have this off because the template's already optimized for mobile and responsive. So the only reason to turn this on, again, is if you want to load another template. So we'll go over to the layout settings now and take a look at this. So here's our default and our mobile. So your grid style is default. You can create your own grid style if you want. But we have our default bootstrap grid. Your template style, this is which style you want to show on the front end. CSS effects, we just have one setting in there, and typography. But you can go ahead and with the framework, you can add different typography, different CSS effects. You can basically do whatever you want. And so here's the default, but over here we want to view the layout. This will open up another window and it'll show you the layout positions. So we go over to the mobile, view the layout, and this shows you the mobile position. So talking about the mobile template only includes the logo, a top, menu bar, menu 1, 2, mobile 1, mobile 2, mobile 3, the component, mobile 4, and a footer. So it's a very simple mobile layout. Now we're going to head over to the grid settings, and this is the Bootstrap grid, and this is where everything is set up for the layout grid. So we have our main wrap. This is going to be the width of the main wrap, the content. And then we have our outer wrapper, responsive features, yes, no. We have had a lot of people ask us in the past, they don't want the responsive features. They want it to look the same on the desktop and as on a mobile device. This is quickly becoming out of date though, because Google is now punishing you if you don't have a mobile-friendly website. So you probably want to leave this on. Unless your client demands it, then you can turn off the responsive features right there. We've got the header. You want to make this header sticky. Do you want it to stay at the top of the screen the whole time? Yes. Nope. Then just turn it off right there. This is the header padding. The header fixed or fluid width. Let me explain the fixed and fluid width real quickly here. So with our template right now, as you see, we have a fixed width here. So that means that 1280 that we started off with the width, this is 1280 right here. Everything outside here is just extra. So when you go ahead and you select the fixed width, it's going to adhere to this main wrap width of 1280. If you set it for fluid, it would go all the way to the left and the right. So menu styles, we've got suckerfish and dualfish. Suckerfish is a standard dropdown. Dualfish is a 2-column dropdown. If you want to use a third-party menu, if you find some mega menu or some other menu system that you want to use, we've included none here. And what this does is that's not going to load any of our CSS, because our CSS might interfere with another third-party menu module. So we've given you the option to say, no, I don't want to load your CSS. So we've got our suckerfish and our dualfish. The main menu mobile width. This is when to switch to the mobile menu with the hamburger icon. You can set whatever width here. We have it for 900. Then you have your region order, and this is the regions that I was discussing in the first video, 1 through 12. This is the separator between regions. Now we get into regions, and most of these regions are going to be the same setting for all. There's might be a little bit different for the component area, region 3, but basically you can select a fixed width, which adheres to the main wrap width up here, or a fluid width, which will go full width. Then you've got padding and a mobile region hide width. So if you don't want to show, say, region 1 at a mobile width, then you'd probably set that for like 900, 1280, or wherever you want to set it, 767, and it's not going to show at that width. So region 2 is basically the same. Region 3, like I said, it's going to be a little different. You've got your fluid or fixed, you've got your padding, you've got your hide, but we also include the region 3 component wrap, padding top and bottom, right and left. So if you want to have some extra padding on the component, you can do that as well. Region 4 all the way up to region 12 are going to be the same exact settings. Footer, same thing. You've got your fixed or fluid and your padding. Now for the left and the right width right here, these are for region 3. And this is a 12-column grid, so if you have your component in the center and then you have your left on and your right on, so you've got 3, 3, 6, so your component is going to be span 6. And so you can set this anywhere between 1 column and 12 columns. If you're unfamiliar with a Bootstrap 12-column grid, I suggest that you Google Bootstrap 2 and look at the grid functions of it, and you should be able to figure it out pretty easily. Now the rest of these, every region except for region 1 and region 12 have a left or right module. And so these would adhere to that. This would be region 2. Like I said, beginning the left and the right are region 3. So then you got 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. And now here's your modules. This is your separator between modules vertically. And this is in pixels. So if you want them all hammered together, then you'd set it for 0, but that's going to space them out vertically. And this is your mobile show suffix width and your mobile hide suffix width. So in a module, you can go ahead and in the module suffix class, you can say mobile show, and it will only show when the template becomes 900 pixels. Or mobile hide at 900. Use mobile hide and it'll hide at 900. This is really good for, say, turning off certain things at mobile or showing things at mobile. So now we're going to get into style settings. And as you see, we have 4 different styles here. And each one of these is a tab, and we'll pull up the settings for that style. So you've got your body front page, background color, background image, and image position. As well, you've got subpage settings. So this is for the front page, this would be for the subpage, and then you've got mobile settings. And here's where your mobile width is. Here are the base colors that we talked about in the first video. Base colors actually create a style for you here. So in this template, we're using the first four base colors here. These are optional, but if you change one of these colors, you're going to change a lot in the template. Just play around with it and you'll find it's very useful. This is the red color, this is the lighter red. And so here's our header. We have our header wrap background color, the top header wrap, and that's for the top header area that we're not using in the template. Then we have the header wrap background color. And you see we have a header wrap and then we have a header background color. So what this means here is that the header wrap goes full width here on the top of this header area. Right now, we're only showing the header wrap background color being white. So that means that everything inside this main wrap area is white. Everything outside isn't. If you wanted this header to go full span left and right with a color, even though it is set right now for a fixed width, you could say the wrap, the outer wrap. You could set this for white, and then it would go full width. And so you've got images you can put in here. Basically, at this point with the web, unless you really have something special you want to put in there, I would just use a color because everything CSS works really well with mobile and to lighten up your site. And then we have the backgrounds at mobile level. Now, this is an interesting thing. If you have a background image in here, like we can select a background image. So if we selected any one of these images like R1-S4, we could select that. And then what you can do is say that you want to have background images at mobile level. No, then the images wouldn't show up with this mobile width that you put in here. If you want to say yes, then they'd show up the same, or swap. And what you do with a swap is you would just take that image named R1-S4 and you would make a new image for your mobile and name it mobile_R1-S4. And at the mobile level, it will swap that image out. And then we have our logo area here. This is the website logo. Like I showed you in the beginning of our menu instruction, this is where you put your logo image traditionally in our templates. But we have this hidden right now. It only shows up when you go to the mobile level. So here's where you put your mobile logo, the logo width, the height, the padding. And this is where you select your swap width. So if you have a different logo here and a different logo here, but yet again, unless you do a little modification, we're not using the website logo image right now. And here's our menu system. So you've got your wrap background color, you've got your background color, item hover background color, item active background color, and your text colors here. So then for your drop-down level, this is your background color for your drop-down, your item backgrounds, and your colors for the text. Now let's get into the regions. The regions, you can have a background color, you can have an image, you can do the image position for the wrap, and then you have your region 1 area and your background. mobile width, and mobile level. So that goes for all the regions. So this is wrap is going to be the outside wrap, and this is going to be the inner wrap. The same thing here goes with a swap. And these are all the same for region 1 through 12, except for region 3 again. In region 3, this is where the component is. So you can have a different component background color. You can have the left wrap background color, a right wrap background color. So if you wanted to, say, put a wrap around all of your right modules and turn them to be transparent and put a color there, it would look like they're all stringed together in one. And so we have the same thing here for region 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And here's our footer wrap and our footer background. This is the module. This is the standard module without any suffix. Background color is transparent. Title background color transparent. First word and second word colors. And then you've got your typography style. This is going to be your body color, your page title, your article title, your H titles, and your global links. And that's basically the same here for each one of these styles. And CSS3 effects. CSS3 hover effects. That's the hover effects that you see for all the colors and things of that nature. And this is right in the CSS3 effects CSS. You just have to add your class to it. Once you add your class to it, it adheres to this, and you've got your transition property here, your effect speed, and your hover timing function. That kind of goes for if you see when you hover over the items here, you see they fade in. They don't actually harshly come in. That's because the classes adhere to it. So if you want to make them fade in slower, you would change the effect speed here. You can change the timing function. The scroll to reveal effects, that's what we were talking about here with things flying in when they scroll. If you want that just to be static and not to actually happen, you can just turn it off right here. You don't have to go in the markup and remove anything. This turns it on or off. The smooth scroll effects, we've added a smooth scroll JS, so as you can see when you scroll, it doesn't come to a harsh stop, kind of moves around a little bit. So we've got that set to yes. If you don't want to use that, you can turn that off. The typography settings, you've got your text direction here, your font sizes, and your font families. Everything from your drop-down, your menu, your content, your H classes. And then we have our advanced settings here. And this is the CSS mode, separate files. If you want them to load all in a single file, there's several files for CSS. You can either load them in a single file, keep them in the separate files, or head embedding. CSS compression, on or off. These two things you might want to test your server with. Front page components. This shows all components on front page, or let's say you don't want to have any components, you say no components on front page. That will have none of the components to be loaded, so you're basically just using modules there. And include jQuery. This is jQuery with no conflict mode. It's on. A lot of our extensions in our template use jQuery. So the reason that we've got the toggle on and off for you here is if you're using a third-party JavaScript or a component that comes with it and it's crashing your site, you can go ahead and turn ours off to go ahead and debug and see what's the problem. And the menu assignment, this is your basic Joomla menu assignment for the template. That's just a core Joomla setting. So let's close out of here and let's head over to the templates here from styles and let's look at the files. So this is the template customize area of Joomla. So from over here, you can load any one of our CSS files and edit them. You can go into our overrides here in the HTML and edit any override that you want. And you can even create new overrides. If you're not familiar with how to create overrides and what overrides do, I'd suggest you go ahead and check out our YouTube page, JoomlaXTC, and check out the Overrides and Beyond video. And that concludes our template administration tutorial. I hope you've learned something today, and I hope this helps you to put together a great website, and we'll see you next time.